Hi, welcome to the Paige Doodle Club. I'm Mike Paige, and today we are going to be drawing a witch in honor of Halloween. So grab your pencils, pens, markers, whatever you want to use, and some paper, and let's get right to it. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. The important thing is that you make your mark. Alright, I'm going to start my witch off with a couple of eyeballs. And I'm going to give her one big round eye like that. And we'll give her a teeny tiny pupil. And then her other eye, I'm going to make a bit squintier. Like this. And I'll have it hang over a bit there. And I think I'll kick it up on that side. And you can decide if both of her pupils are teeny tiny or if one is a bit bigger. I think I'm going to give her one bigger pupil. Next, I'm going to want to give my witch a nose. And we always think of witch noses as being like really grotesque and long and skinny noses. So I'm going to make the bottom of her nose down here. But I probably could have even made it longer, but yeah, let's do that. Let's turn this into a wart, because it's not too late to decide to do that. Now that's a wart on her nose, and I'm going to make the bottom of her nose way down here now. So I'm going to make kind of a rounded off V shape. It's somewhere between a U and a letter V, kind of smushed. And I'm going to come up like this. And I want to be ending next to her nose. So I'm going to go like that. Next, I'm going to come out and give her a nostril. And I might as well give her two nostrils. And then we'll go like that. I remember as a kid having a Halloween decoration that hung up in the house. It was one of those like 1950s through 1970s type decorations that was on heavy cardstock. We had a cat, we had a ghost, and we had a witch. And the witch had this awesome expression on her face that I can still picture to this day. I loved that thing so much. There's like just the right level of spooky when you're a little kid, where it's really cool and fun still and not quite terrifying, but you have that little bit of like, oh man, this lady gives me the creeps. Alright, I think next I might make the hat so that I kind of think how wide I want her face. I think her hair will be about here. And coming out to maybe about there. Just to give you an idea of what I'm doing. So I'm going to make the hat next. And the hat is going to come way across the paper. Like that. And before I do any more with the hat, now I can start filling in the rest of her face, but I wanted to kind of know where all these lines need to stop. So I wanted that brim of the hat before I keep going. So I'm going to give her hair kind of like that. She's going to want some ears too, so we won't forget about those. And witch ears are usually drawn kind of pointy and creepy, but you can make yours however you like. I'm going to have them almost like vampire ears, but a little bit rounded off there. And then we'll give her a big, toothy, grotesque mouth. Now, right now she's kind of smiling, but we can still give her some gross teeth. So each tooth is going to be sort of worn down and rounded. I'm putting little lines in it like the teeth have cracks. And definitely make her missing some teeth. You don't want your witch having all of her teeth. Witches back in the 1600s, if you want to call them witches, they were actually just people. It was a hysteria. One of the biggest mistakes in our history of North America would be thinking that a couple of women were actually witches and just falling into an absolute hysteria over it. But that's what happened. But this was back in the 1600s. Beliefs were a little bit skewed at the time, and that's the way they made sense of things. But what I was going to say is that people would have been missing teeth back then, and especially if we're making our witch look creepy, her having less teeth is going to add to her level of discomfort looking at her. So if you're a kid and you're seeing a mouth like this, it's going to be quite a bit creepier. We'll give a tongue kind of like that. Next, we want her to have a pointy chin, but I need to finish this hair first. So now that I know where her mouth is, I can add some Alright, so now I'm going to make a pointy chin coming down this way. And we'll give it a slight cleft in the middle. I would have liked to have rounded that a little bit more, but I'm coming up against the easel here. Add as many warts as you want. I'm not sure how it was decided that witches have warts, but apparently that's a rule. And when you're drawing cartoony things, it's okay to go with slight cliches. I'm going to kind of fill in a dark ring around this eyeball next. And then we'll kick out like that. And like that. And we're going to want to give her a little bit of an eyebrow over here on that side. And going to turn this brow line into an eyebrow on that side. And then I'm going to give her a bit more hair sticking out from behind that ear. Alright, next I'm going to make the brim of the hat. So right here, this part is all like the bottom underneath part of the brim. So I'm going to want to come up slightly on the edges here. And this, so now you're seeing the top of the brim here. This would be the bottom of the brim. And this is where we can put that familiar pilgrim belt buckle going across the hat. Not sure why that's a thing either, but again, it's one of those rules that witches have buckles on their hat. So here you go. There's a buckle. Inside of this buckle, I'm going to go like this, like that. Don't forget the little piece there that's holding the buckle together. And as we go up and into a point, it's up to you what this hat is doing. I'm having it get slightly skinnier. And flopped over to one side. Put a couple wrinkles in there. And she should have a little bit of a line coming out from her nose, going towards the mouth. And again, if you want to give her more warts, you do you. I think I'm going to limit my witch at 3 warts. I think that's plenty. Oh my goodness. I thickened this line a bit to have a bit of a shadow and then cover up a mistake, and now it kind of looks like a pencil thin mustache. Whoops. Sometimes that happens. If you want your witch to have facial hair, go for it. Whatever's creepy to you. Oh, there you go. The warts could certainly have a little whisker or two sticking out from them. And you can add whatever other details you want. I know a lot of times when I'm drawing witches with kids at work, kids like to add spiders hanging from the hat. That's another one of those witch cliches that you can't really argue with. Spiders hang from witches' hats. That is a fact. Everybody knows it. And if you don't believe that, you show me a witch that doesn't have a spider hanging from her hat that is a real witch. I bet you can't do it. And next, I'm just going to add, like, she needs some kind of neckline here so that she's not just a floating head. So we'll give her some skinny shoulders and a big cape. Sticking up from her, and maybe we'll put 1 or 2 little holes in the belt going around the hat there. I feel like she needs a little more happening around this eye. this would definitely be one that if you were coloring it in, you could have some fun with it. Especially if you're kind of blending the colors of your marker. So if you start with the darker colors and work towards the lighter colors, you can get some really nice color blends going. So give that a shot if you want to color this in. Alright, thank you for watching the Paige Doodle Club as we made a witch. I hope you enjoyed following along. Tune in again next week for one more Halloween special.